Hi, my name is Malinta and I'm here to give a persuasive presentation about how not to drink and drive. Drunk driving takes twice as much as lives than the lives lost at war in Iraq and Afghanistan. Right now there's a popular trend because in listening to the news, we're quick to hear about the number of lives lost at war in Iraq. Interestingly enough, though it still loses out to the number of fatalities caused by drunk driving in the United States itself, including Puerto Rico, by a ratio of 17 to 1. According to the reports of DoD, Department of Defense, comparing the fatalities between 2005 and 2009, it has rose from 0.17% to 1.17% to 1. That means there's a significant increase in the amount of drunk driving related fatalities. I'm not talking about the injuries, it's just the fatalities. Those who serve in the military do so with a commitment to their lives, in giving their lives to the country, in trying to defending to the nation. But those killed by drunk driving accidents are often on their way from home, from a store, taking their kids to school, or maybe going to a movie. They never have a life unnecessarily endangered. This information was taken from the offclub.com that provides the statistics about the fatalities. I have a family member who suffered a lot of injuries to his body as a result of drunk driving, and that has had a significant impact on his life, changed his life almost in every way, and he's still suffering because of his one stupid mistake of drinking and driving. There are a lot of ways to still have fun at a party and not drink and drive. I have found that drinking and driving is a big problem, and I have found that many ways that will help you to get home safely while enjoying yourself at a party. There are a couple main points I'm trying to cover in this thing, in my presentation. The problem is that everyone wants to consume alcohol and they still think that they are fit to drive. The key word here is think, which leads us to the second point, which means people are unaware of the effects of alcohol. They think that they can handle the alcohol, but in reality nobody exactly knows how their body reacts to alcohol because it differs from individual to another one. People under the influence of alcohol are indecisive, which means that leads to destruction of property and human lives because the decisions they make are not calculated and it's not 100%. Everyone wants to enjoy and have fun at the party, thus they consume alcohol and not thinking about how they're going to get home. Of course you can consume alcohol, but you gotta have a way of getting home. There are many solutions available to this issue. One is designated driver. The terms designated driver and designated driving refers to selecting a person to remain sober right throughout the party so that the others can have alcoholic beverages. A designated driver is a person who does not drink alcohol or does not take alcohol at a social occasion. It is intended as a safety issue so that he could drive everybody else. In a military situation, he would be considered as a TC, which is a tank commander, who has the responsibility of the lives of the entire convoy. In order to encourage these activities, these arrangements, people can even look at the private sector. In the worst case scenarios where you don't have anybody, no friends, no anybody who don't want to take you out, if you can't find a designated driver, basically, today there are companies who will provide these services upon request. A company that offers a designated driver service, which is called DD Inc., Designated Drivers Inc. These services are generally offered 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. So regardless, anywhere you at, any time of day, you can get one of these services. However, drawback is it's only available in Arizona and Las Vegas, Nevada. Another more simple technique you can use to get home would be a taxi. It's always important to have a taxi card number in your wallet so that anytime you know, however drunk you are, you could just pick up your phone, dial the number and get home safely. And the third point, many people have false impressions about the effects of alcohol on their body. Social drinkers underestimate the addictive impairing effects of alcohol. Let's talk about BAC. This is the concentration of alcohol in a person's blood. The number of drinks consumed is often a poor measure of the BAC content, largely because it depends from person to person based on sex, age, your body fat. Therefore, people use this as a misconception. Okay, I have 3 drinks, for example, and I'm good to drive. No. But in reality, even you drink alcohol and you take a break, your PAC continues to rise every 2 hours after you drink alcohol. This is proved by a Harvard alcohol project study that was done at Harvard University. And therefore, every hour passes after you drink alcohol beverage, your PAC continues to rise regardless of your ability, regardless of your misconception that you think you can handle it. Effects of alcohol on brain activity. Alcohol generally interferes with the brain functions. Therefore, there's a miscommunication between your brain and your rest of the body, which means the actions you do is not 100%. Indecisive actions due to drunk driving had severe consequences on motorists as well as damage to property. Figures taken from the US Census Department for 2010 shows the lives lost at drunk driving. Alcohol-related deaths in the United States itself, including Puerto Rico, account to about 37% of the total fatalities of the United States. This means that 37% of all the deaths that occur in the States are alcohol-related. My question is that we are in war right now. We're fighting in Afghanistan as well as Iraq. Less people die overseas compared to the amount of people who die in the United States itself as a result of alcohol. Damage to property and the financial loss that occurs is itself immense, and it's a separate issue. As at the same time, the loss of driving privileges. People lose their jobs, people basically get sued, they lose their property, they lose a lot of rights and privileges that the country offers them due to drunk driving. Therefore, these measures provided above will help you restrict the amount of drunk driving deaths and property damage. But responsible driving is the key to avoid such circumstances. So if you drive, please be careful to call a cab, take a designated driver, or even don't drive, just walk home if you can. Therefore, I want to summarize this by saying that there's a growing problem. Everybody wants to have alcohol at a party, but that's fine. But always think of a way of going home safely. And also always worry about the effects of alcohol, because nobody knows how alcohol reacts to each and every different person. And also, the influential ability is entirely diminished by alcohol, because it basically diminishes your ability to think and make correct decisions about the ability of you to make correct decisions. Therefore, please, if you know that you drink alcohol, please take a taxi home. That's the easiest and the least possible thing you can do for yourself and everybody else around you and for the country. Because if you really want to give your life away, there are better ways and noble ways to do it rather than drinking and driving. Thank you.